we're still an indirect statement. So the next indirect statement, the subject is id, okay, and your infinitive is fecisse. So, nor he had not done it. Okay, it is the accusative direct object and refers to M.B. Oryx's assault. Okay, then we have a relative clause of characteristic, and how I know that is this perfect subjunctive right here. Which he has done about the attack of the camp, either by his own judgment or will, but by the compulsion of the state. And that his own commands were of such a kind that, okay, this is a result clause. I don't really know why it's a result clause, because you don't see, one of those adeo ita sic things you usually see when you see a result clause, but it says that it's a result clause with imperfect subjunctive, so we'll go with that. So we got, and like his own powers were of such a kind that the multitude had no less of a rule, like a rule of law, no less of rule or authority. No, let's do authority. No less of authority over him than he himself had over the multitude. Okay, remember this is M.B. Oryx we're talking about. So, this next phrase, civitati, is dative. Honk is accusative. We're still an indirect statement because, yay. Okay. Okay, we've got an accusative. These two things go together. Okay. Okay, it says Hank is the accusative subject, and civitati is a dative of reference. So from the viewpoint of the state. So you're going to say that to the state, or for the state, this was, or this has been, that Fu would say, this has been the cause of war. That, because Okay, and your subject is it. It's really like Kiwitas, but it doesn't put that in here. So it was not able to resist, and resisto takes the dative. Okay, it was not able to resist the sudden conspiracy of the Gauls. Okay, we left off this furthermore right here, so put that back at the beginning. Like that, furthermore, for the state, okay? Just don't leave that out. Okay. Okay. Still an indirect statement. Okay. So we got that he himself, this is your accusative subject. This is accusative too, but it's the object of this probare down here, which is the complementary infinitive of this posse. Okay, so we got that he himself, talking about Ambiorix, was able easily to prove out of his own humility because he is, talking about Ambiorix, he is not so inexperienced, and this takes the genitive. So he is not so inexperienced of things that, this is a result clause because of this adeo right here, so that he trusts the Roman people it sets up an indirect statement. He trusts that, and this is your accusative subject of the Roman people, the accusative subject of your indirect statement. So he trusts that the Roman people are able to be overcome by means of his own supplies, aka his troops. So basically, you know, he's no dummy. He thinks that the Roman people can be overcome. Okay, so Caesar's building up the threat of imminent danger here. We're still an indirect statement in this next part. Okay, but the plan was common to the Gauls. Okay, and this is dative. Dative. Oh, well, I guess the plan was common to Gaul. Make it singular. That this day, this is your accusative subject, this day was appointed for attacking all the winter quarters of Caesar. Okay, then we got a negative purpose clause here. Okay, and then this qua is really aliqua after si, nisi, num, ne. Instead of it being aliqua, okay, it just becomes qua. So si, nisi, num, and ne, all the ollies fall away. Anyway, so we got lest not any, it's nominative, not any legion would be able to come to the help of another legion. Okay, this phrase right here is called a double dative. Okay, which basically means, it's a bunch of words in the dative. One is a dative of interest, and the other is a dative of purpose. I call this the dative of reference. Dative of reference is the person, and then the dative of purpose is the thing that happens. Okay, last sentence, still an indirect statement. That the Gauls could not, or were not able to deny the Gauls. Easily. So I guess it'd be that the Gauls were not able easily to deny the Gauls. Especially when, well, or since, let's do since. Especially since a plan okay, remember that video in the passive is to seem. So when a plan seemed to have been entered concerning or about recovering, that's a gerundive, recovering their common liberty. So basically what they're saying is, we could not resist what the other men said. We were swayed, by our sense of duty to our country.